I know it's a Sunday, and I know everyone likes to take at least one day a week, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, to relax. But, folks, please, if you have it in your ability to do right now, go get gas. If you have a local hardware store that's still open, go get a gas can and fill it up too. Tomorrow morning, the U.S. stock market is going to tank in a way that we haven't seen in many, many years. And it's going to continue to tank day after day. The U.S. government may have to get involved like it did back in 2008. It's going to be that bad. The world's largest shipping company, Maersk, has just suspended all traffic because of the ongoing hostilities in the Middle East. This is a big deal. This is going to cause a lot of people to pull their money out of stocks simply because of the massive shipping hiccup that's about to happen. Now, I know a lot of folks have enjoyed their time these last 48 hours sitting online, popping popcorn and watching the missiles fly back and forth. And I had a video all set to release for you guys talking about the idea of how, while it's entertaining, it changes nothing. See, just like in Venezuela, for example, they're still socialists. The person that is in charge of Venezuela right now, Delcy Rodriguez, is probably, if you look at her history, far more socialist than Nicolas Maduro ever was. Same thing. Libya, nothing's changed. Iraq, nothing has changed. Afghanistan, nothing has changed. All of these wars, all of these trillions of dollars, it's changed zero. Well, in this particular case, taking out this guy is going to have a change, but for the worst. For the far worst for America. And not because of the sleeper cells or that guy down in Austin that went in and shot up a bar. This is going to hurt, folks. This is going to hurt. You're not going to hear this take anywhere else on YouTube or X or anything because everybody wants to keep you in what? In an emotional state. Why? Because the vast majority of these channels on YouTube and on X are running psyops on you. And this is why I started the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. For a psyop to work, for a military interrogation to be successful, or any interrogation for that matter, the interrogator has to put the target into an emotional, state first. Why do you think before an interrogator goes after somebody, they usually give them 24 to 48 hours of no sleep or interrupted sleep or no food or yelling and screaming loud noises or isolation? They're messing with their head first. Because you can't have somebody who has the ability to think resisting you for hours on end. The longer they resist, the more, powerful they become. The more belief they have in that their ability to resist the interrogation is going to be successful. Now, if you'd like to learn these tactics and techniques, would love to have you over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. First of the month, it's the perfect day to join. Perfect day to join. There's no partial month payment. There's 4 levels over there, whatever God puts on your heart. And here's the best part. It's fully refundable for 90 days. Imagine that. That's even better than Amazon. Think about that. 90 days, see, March, April, May. It'd be the beginning of June before you would say, Florida Maquis, I watched your videos and I liked some of them, maybe some of them not so much, but things are tight now. I really need that refund. Not a problem. Right back at you. No questions asked. Now, let's get into it. Let's talk about what's really going on. It was only a few months ago that the president took a few hundred aircraft and ships and people down to Venezuela, killed a couple hundred people on the way, kidnapped 2 elderly people out of their bed in the middle of the night, and they got one of our chopper pilots shot up pretty good. Has anything changed in Venezuela? Even after this, major oil companies came to the president and said, I'm sorry, he's not the problem. And Mr. Trump said, what? Nicolas Maduro's not the problem. He's like, no, Nicolas Maduro's a symptom, but they're just not capitalists down there. There's no way they're going to let us go down there. And unless we, are planning on walking away from a bunch of money right off the top, we're never going to make a dime. Because the most important thing to the people of Venezuela is taking care of the people of Venezuela first. You see, even the lazy people of Venezuela deserve the money from the oil more than big oil does. That's the belief system in Venezuela. Even the lowest of the low, the most unproductive person in Venezuela has more of an entitlement to the money from the oil in Venezuela than the big oil companies do. And the big oil companies have realized this over the last 75 to 100 years. Afghanistan. Did anything change? Did one thing change? Iraq. This is probably the single most powerful politician in Iraq. After 20 years of war there, it's Muqtada al-Sadr. The guy that was killing U.S. troops left and right back in 2003, 4, 5, 6. He's now the one that's in charge. This is one of the guys who is vying for power in Libya. No different. Literally no different than Gaddafi. Nothing's changed. And as far as Iran goes, I want folks who are probably already typing to just stop for a minute. You see these people in front of you? This is the Shah of Iran. The woman's title, she was an empress. This is their other option in Iran. There is no idea in Iran that we're going to become a democracy that has a House of Representatives, a Supreme Court, a Senate, and then a presidential wing, and it's not going to happen. There's two choices. There is the current state of affairs, which is an Islamic caliphate, which is what's going to continue. Go look at who's in charge of Iran now and how they're going to proceed. There is an outside, infinitesimally small chance that at some point there might be an uprising and they might return to the Shah. The Shah is a king. So just imagine for 1 second that the only two options are an Islamic caliphate or royalty. Two choices. So I'm just saying, I thought, and tell me if I'm wrong. Please, I'm very interested to hear if I'm wrong. I thought that if I had made this argument a year and a half ago about the U.S. using its military to go affect change around the world, that I would have been totally lambasted by Trump supporters saying, that's why we need Trump. It's people like you who are the problem. You and Nikki Haley and John McCain and all these people, you rhino, neocon warmongers. If we get Trump in, we're not going to be trying to turn all of these countries into little mini Americas everywhere. I thought that was the argument that got the man elected. That he wasn't going to be using the military to do this shit. Why? Because of what I just went through. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever changes. But believe me, things are going to change tomorrow. Believe me. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. Maersk suspending all traffic through the straits? Yeah, folks, but I'm sorry, but if you thought COVID was bad, just wait. Because this isn't going to go away. This isn't going to go away. And for those of you over at the Patreon channel, by the way, where's the picture? Do you remember when I made a video a long time ago saying and talking in contrast to the COVID-19 vaccination, how people were out there willingly jabbing themselves with untested poisons to achieve a certain look, aesthetic in the world? I had to stare at this picture for an hour to realize this was Demi Moore. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it's real simple. Why force or why make it seem as if people are being force jabbed with something, with poisons, when we can get them to willingly jab themselves? We will send you the jabs, and then you can, then in the privacy of your own home, you can stick the needle wherever you want it. And then you'll look super sexy like all the celebs. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to start eating right. You don't have to just to take care of yourself. None of that. Think about the psychology of people who are saying, I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm going to stay pure blood. Then they turn around en masse because there's a benefit for them in it. And they start jabbing themselves so that they can eventually look like this. One of the most beautiful women from Hollywood. One of the absolute most beautiful women from, I forget all the movies that she was in, Demi Moore was in, now looks like, I don't even know. I don't know how to describe it. It's anorexic. This is happening all over Hollywood and all over America, really. Watching people do this. And it's a fascinating study. It's terrifying, but it's a fascinating study in psychology. What you can get people to do if you can motivate them with the right thing. And for Americans right now, it's appearance. How do you look in your jeans? I want to look like I did back in 1985. Ladies and guys out there, I want to ask, at the end of this video, I want to ask an honest question. If you ran into somebody from high school, maybe you had a crush on them. I'm talking to both men and women out there. Let's say you graduated in the 80s like I did. You were high school in the 80s, and you ran into somebody who looked exactly like they were wearing basically the same pair of jeans and the same shirts and the same clothes that they were wearing in 1985, size-wise. Are you telling me that you wouldn't think that that's just a little bit creepy? I think it would be ridiculously creepy, and I guess it goes both directions. That person would have an issue. You see, there were skinny people back in high school, and everybody gets a little bigger and fills out and becomes an adult. This is the option. It's just unreal. But the message, go get gas, go get groceries, go get everything that you might need. Because there's going to be runs. And they're not going to be able to stop it. There's going to be runs on Amazon. There's going to be runs on gas. There's going to be stations that run out of gas. And there are going to be people looking for places to buy gas at any price. Because the stations are going to run out. So I will leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Join us on Patreon. Love to have you over there. We're going to be talking a lot about this kind of stuff in the coming weeks. So, once again, pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.